Cheerio and welcome back. Gino Ames here, live from the Mini Man Cave, doing another question and answer. Got all kinds of crazy questions. When I put out a call for questions, it does not have to be music related. You can ask me comic stuff, hair care stuff, what you want, whatever you want. So hey, let's get it started off. I got 5 or 6 questions. Let's start off with Joe Royland. Joe Royland asks, Gino, if you could be any superhero, who would you be? And my instant answer is Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man I hold near and dear. I have a Spider-Man action figure right here. And I go with Spider-Man because when I was in 6th grade, I had the worst year of my life. We moved from Tennant's Harbor. I started a new school. My name was Eugene. My folks divorced. We moved again. And by the end of the school year, both of my parents had remarried. And I started a new school. Like, boo! So I became immersed in comic books. And at that time, Marvel was doing a series called Marvel Tales, which reprinted all the classic Spider-Man. So I got to read the 60s Spider-Man chronologically, month to month. And it just resonated with me. And it was like, it was always my kind of thing. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So I go right to Spider-Man, 60 Spider-Man. First 32 issues of Spider-Man are the greatest comic books ever written. In fact, Spider-Man Annual 1 is my all-time favorite comic. It's where he battles the infamous Sinister Six. Whew. Highly recommend that. Great. Steve Ditko art. So yeah, just Peter Parker, Spider-Man. That's my jam. So if I could be any if I could be any hero, it would be Spider-Man because it'd be fucking awesome to swing around town. I couldn't flee. People are like, oh, you could be Superman fly. I want to hold on to something while I'm going. So there you go, Joe. I would be Spider-Man. Next question. Pete Zebu, the rock and roll Jedi. He asked me, what is my favorite Satriani song? All you know, I love Joe Satriani. To me, Joe Satriani is my form of religion. I listen to Satch all the time. It takes me to a different place when I listen to his music. Ever since I first discovered him with Surfing with the Alien, I've followed his career. I've got to see him. I've got to meet him. Totally got tongue-tied. But historically, it has been the song Friends. And I still will say that Friends has the single greatest drum sound, in my opinion. Andy Johns captured Greg Bissonette's drums on that track. Amazing. It's like boom, crack, boom, boom, crack. Oh, awesome. And Satch's guitar line is just amazing. Amazing in that song. But the first song that popped in my head, and I'm one of those kind of guys, is If I Could Fly off the Is There Love in Space. Just a great song. Just soars. It just soars. And it's just perfect Satriani, in my opinion. It also got a lot of notoriety because that's the song Satriani sued Coldplay for ripping off. You can take that Coldplay song they got the Grammy for and lay Satch's song on top of it, and it lines up perfectly. So Satch settled out of court for an undisclosed amount, so I'm sure it was big. And it was also in the stipulation that he never discuss it again. So I bet it was real big, and I hope it was, because if they ripped off Satch, Coldplay. All right, what else we got here? We're going to shift gears now, go into my other world. Most of you know, maybe you don't. I got my start as a Navy barber. From there, I took my GI Bill, went to cosmetology school, and I've been cutting hair for 25 years. And if you're anywhere near a Great Clips this week, starting on Saturday, we got a sale, $7.99 haircuts. Can't beat that. Unless you're next to a military base and they charge you $5. But hey, get a good quality haircut, fast, in and out. You can check it online. And my edger's broke. I'm kind of pissed about that right now. I'm like, ugh. So anyways, hair care. Miss Shelley, the riff mistress, truck driver Shelley Davis. A lot of you might know she has been battling cancer for a while now, and she is a tough girl, and we love her so much. And my thought is anyone who can survive seeing truck driver Sean naked can survive anything. So you got this, kiddo. You got this. Well, Shelley asked me about hair care. She's gone through some chemo, and her hair came back very fine and thin. There's a bunch of products out there, one being Nioxin, which she mentioned, and her comment was other than Nioxin and something all natural to help thicken up her hair. Um, I will say right off the bat, Shelly, my super experience with Nioxin, because I've been selling it for 20 years now in various salons, and I do think it's a good product. Um, to thicken up stuff, I'm always leery of that because usually hair products that thicken your hair, what they do is here's your hair cuticle, you put it on and it blasts it open, making it bigger. And I just think in a state of, fine, fragile hair, that's scary to me. Like, we want to take care of that as good as that. I did do some research. Like I said, most of my experiences with Nioxin, I did some research and I discovered a product line which you could actually buy on Amazon called Just Natural Products, and they have an entire line devoted to people who have gone through chemo. Like they have a shampoo, a conditioner, and an after chemo treatment and all that kind of stuff, and they're called Just Natural. And I'll send you a link to that. Got really good reviews. I read a bunch of I read down through all the reviews, and people seem pretty happy with the product. Of course, when you get online reviews, you get, the people who love it and the people that hate it. But everyone seemed pretty positive with it. So I will send you a link to that. But a good, just easy shampoo to get that you could use for thin, fine hair is the Paul Mitchell Shampoo 1. They actually have two formulas of it. There's Shampoo 1 and Baby Don't Cry, which is their baby shampoo. And it's the exact same thing, just one is pH to the tear ducts in your eye, so it doesn't make you cry. That's why you cry when you get shampoo in your eye, because it's a different pH. So they pH'd it to the tears in your eye. So that's a good product. So I hope that helps you, Shelly. I'll keep looking around and see if I can find some other stuff. But the Just Natural stuff looks pretty good. And like I said, I'll send you a link. Alrighty. Back to my lunacy. Brian Miller, who dropped us a riff last week on his Wolfgang. Pretty awesome. Brian's a good guy. Awesome player. I hope he drops some more riffs for us. He asked me about Michael Schenker, because everybody knows Gino loves Michael Schenker. Let's see. Look, here's Gino's Michael Schenker songbook he bought in the 80s. I've been carrying this shit around for years. Finally had a spiral on it because the whole binding fell apart. Great player. Love Michael Schenker. Little history on Schenker. Born in Hanover, Germany. Younger brother to Rudolf Schenker. Rudolf started the Scorpions in 1965. And around 1970, he convinced his 15-year-old brother Michael to join the band and to bring his singer Klaus with him, because they were in a band together. And the golden, the classic Scorpions began then. And they did the album Lonesome Crow, and after that, Michael was recruited by the headlining band at a show they played named UFO, and Michael packed his bags and headed to England. Spent about 10 or so years with UFO, coming up with some classic stuff. Lights Out, Strangers in the Night's one of the finest live albums ever. Check out Rock Bottom on Strangers in the Night. Just phenomenal. Oh my God, the guitar on that is so awesome. After UFO, Michael was drinking a lot, popping pills. He was a train wreck. And their singer was a train wreck who liked to fight. They got into a fight. Michael quit the band and went back to the Scorpions for about 15 minutes. And I say 15 minutes because he recorded 3 tracks that ended up on Love Drive, and then he was out of there again because he was flaking out. And he started the Michael Schenker Group. The original Michael Schenker Group was going to have Billy Sheehan in it. How awesome would that have been? But just phenomenal guitar player. Did a bunch of albums with MSG. And then decided in the mid to late 80s to go a little more commercial and teamed up with vocalist Robin McCauley from Ireland and put out the McCauley Schenker Group, which is a little more, if you like the 1987 Whitesnake record, you will love the MSG Perfect Timing record, Just great stuff, big hooks, singing about all the classic 80s hair metal kind of things. But great production by Andy Johns. That's 2 Andy Johns references in this. Just phenomenal. Michael Schenker, oh, love him. Nowadays, he's clean, sober, fit, and trim. He's got a new band that he calls Michael Schenker's Temple of Rock. Has Herman Rarebell and Francis Bukowski as his rhythm section from the classic line of the Scorpions, and a singer named Doogie White, who did spend some time with Yngwie. I also think he sang in Rainbow at one point, maybe like the last iteration of Rainbow. I could be wrong there, but I know he did spend some time with Yngwie. That's where I know of him. God, I got to look up at that other band. He sang with another like classic band. I was like, I didn't know he sang in that. But great player. Schenker's just awesome. Love, Lights Out. For classic Schenker tracks, Assault Attack, On and On, Get Out, Save Yourself. Gosh, there's just so many Schenker tracks I could go on and on about. On and on. That's a classic one. Attack of the Mad Axeman's really awesome. Into the Arena is kind of like his, I guess that's his eruption. Good track. So, Michael Schenker, check him out. Andy Demmons wants to know, left or right? In the Navy, there was a game. Corey Holmes might remember this game where you walked into a room and you asked someone, left or right? And you showed him something. And I'm going to go right. Andy Demmons. If you really want to know what I'm talking about, send me a message and I'll explain it to you. It's bad. Riff of the day. Let's see what else we got. Corey Holmes asked about 7-string guitars. And this would actually be better off asked to truck driver Sean because I don't own a 7-string. But here's a little thing. My baritone is pretty much tuned like 7-string because I got a low B. And the way it's tuned, you have your regular 6 strings with an added low B. So it would be like an E and then a B. So no, Corey, you would not hold it like a drop D power chord. You would finger it just like you would a normal power chord. Now a lot of people take their 7-string and do a drop A, and they drop that down. So then they can do the 1-finger power chords. So there you go. It is an added B. And then when you go 8 is an F sharp. F sharp, yeah. Or maybe just an F or an F sharp. I think it's an F sharp though. It would be that next one. Norma, plug that in for me. But yeah, it's a 7-string, cool time. Guy in Limp Bizkit, he always had an extra high string. But Limp Bizkit sucks. And you know that's true, truck driver Sean. Just saying. There you go. There's a lot of dispute. Who invented the 7-string guitar? This one guy says, Steve Vai stole my fire. And it's like, sorry, dude, Steve Vai's a better guitar player than you. Oh, what is his name? Something. Oh, he has a 7-string Strat model, but he sucked. He was an idiot. But 7-strings have been around forever. There's jazz guys, playing 7 strings back in the 30s and 40s and stuff like that. It's nothing new, but it really became mainstream because of Steve Vai. And then the Korn guys really brought it big, brought it to metal. So there you go. My last thing, I'm going to do a recommendation. It'd be really easy for me this week to recommend the new Winery Dogs record, because holy shit, is that an amazing record. But I'll say this. My recommendation of the week is the new Children of Bottom record, because Gino loves the metal. And I think it's kind of getting overlooked because everybody in the guitar world is talking about the new Winery Dogs CD, which is awesome. I'm not saying it's not. Just awesome. But new Children of Bottom, I Worship Chaos. Alexi does all the guitars. Rupe left the band, so it's just, it's awesome. Really good stuff. And for you 80s fans, they do a cover of Danger Zone. So how cool is that? So hey, riff of the day, Q&A, booyah! Gino out of here.